Let's have a quick look and see what's new on Netflix for the 10th of October to the 16th of October 2016. First up is comedy drama Be Somebody, about a pop superstar with a big dream. Seems to have gone over fairly well with various viewers and looks very much aimed at the teenies. Remember that old Dennis Quaid movie, Frequency, where he spoke to his son in the future? Well, they made a TV show out of it. Frequency, the TV show, is a modern update of the original storyline with more time to be able to ponder the events and the possibilities of what happened in that universe in the movie. Queen Mimi is a documentary about Marie Heist, who was formerly homeless in Los Angeles, lived in a laundromat and became friends with certain celebrities. And she was popular enough to warrant a documentary, I guess. No Man Beyond This Point is a sci-fi drama about a world where women give birth to only girls, and one man becomes a crusader to battle to keep men alive as they are going to become extinct. Sounds moderately humorous, if a little bit scary. Justin Timberlake and the Tennessee Kids is a live concert, the final night of the world tour, where the star combines his talents with some gifted musicians and dancers who are, I don't know, from Tennessee, possibly. Boys Don't Cry is a transgender drama about a girl who adopts a male identity and attempts to find himself love in Nebraska. Cuban Fury is a comedy with the once funny Nick Frost. However, it also stars Olivia Colman and the wonderful Rashida Jones. Very much worth checking out for the dance sequences, but comedy-wise, it's not great. Oddly recommended to me in an email from Netflix because I like Narcos. Mascots is a comedy from Christopher Guest that stars Cuban Fury star Chris O'Dowd, about a bunch of contestants vying for the title of World's Best Mascot. Whiteout stars Kate Beckinsale and it's from 2009. I've seen this, I can remember nothing about it. It's about a US Marshal at a research station in Antarctica who's trying to solve a murder before the sun sets. Chilling. 2 seasons of Meat Eater have gone up. I believe there's 5 seasons in total at the moment, about a hunter taking down various types of prey. A show all about animals, hunting, and killing. Right. Skyladder, the Art of Sai-Gyo-Chan, hope I got that right, is a documentary about an artist known for his spectacular pyrotechnic displays. Looks colourful and explosive. Haters Back Off is a sitcom with Angela Kinsey from The Office and Steve Little from Eastbound and Down, about the family life of Miranda Sings, a confident yet untalented star who's obsessed with the idea that she was born to be famous. U-Turn is a thriller about a reporter who must find the truth behind a strange murder after she crosses paths with a young cop and becomes the investigation's prime suspect. Power Rangers Dino Supercharge is a new TV series, probably just in time for the new movie, about the Power Rangers facing off against a new enemy. You know, for kids. Percentage is a thriller from 2014 starring Ving Rhames and Omar Gooding about 2 enterprising crooks who set up a scam in Miami, attracting the attention of the police and some very powerful crime lords. Chapo El Escape del Siglo is a crime drama inspired by the real events of the sensational prison escape of Mexican drug kingpin Joaquin Guzman, also known as El Chapo. Angus, Thongs and Perfect Snogging is based on the popular book about a girl called Georgia who has 2 goals: nabbing a gorgeous boyfriend and throwing the best 15th birthday party ever. With Christmas rapidly approaching, I've got a funny feeling Netflix and Amazon Prime are going to be submerged in Christmas TV movies. This one stars Barbara Niven, David Niven Jr.'s ex-wife, I believe, who plays a romantically optimistic bride-to-be trying to make it home to meet her fiance's parents when a snowstorm reroutes her flight. It's got something to do with Santa as well. It sounds awful. Trees of Life is a nature documentary set in Africa, not so much about the predators and prey struggling to survive, but about the trees that provide food, shelter and hunting grounds for the local creatures. Laggies is a romantic comedy starring Sam Rockwell and Keira Knightley about a 28-year-old who agrees to attend a career development retreat only to spend time with a teenage friend and attempting to avoid anything that would distract from her youthful irresponsibility. 2 seasons of Ice Pilots are now available, a reality show that follows the aviators of Buffalo Airways, an airline still flying World War II planes in the Canadian Arctic. Glitch is a new show about a police officer and a doctor who face an emotionally charged mystery when 6 local residents inexplicably return from the dead in peak physical form. Sounds kind of intriguing. What has Meg Ryan been up to in the last few years? Well, it appears fangirl is one thing about a creative high school student who sets out to make a film project about her favourite band, All Time Low, and uses family and friends in order to find a way to get close to them. C.T. Fletcher, My Magnificent Obsession, isn't about what you think it might be about. It is in fact an inspiring documentary about a weightlifter who comes back after a near-fatal heart attack and his quest to open his own gym. Carlos the Jackal is the Venezuelan terrorist who executed scores of assassinations and abductions and even bombings across Europe and the Middle East. This is a mini-series that appears to have been edited together into one big long movie, and therefore missing some bits, and it's probably best to search out the mini-series as opposed to the movie. Blind Date, from 2015, not the old Bruce Willis one, is a French romantic comedy about a passionate pianist and a soulful puzzle maker who aren't the best neighbours, but things get interesting when they go out on a date together. Being George Clooney is an interesting sounding film about the actors who supply the voice to George Clooney in the dubbed versions of his movies when released internationally. It'd be quite interesting to see whether or not George Clooney himself makes an appearance to meet some of these actors. The Art of Organised Noise, whereby noise is spelt with a Z as opposed to an S, is a documentary that charts the rise of organised noise, the influential producers behind megahits like Outkast, Goody Mob, TLC and such others. 2 seasons of Angry Birds are now available on Netflix, about these feathered friends who have lots of adventures while guarding their eggs from some pesky pigs that keep trying to steal them. It's a show that writes itself. The Boy, WHIT, The Golden Pants is an embarrassingly badly titled movie here in the UK, which should be called The Boy with the Golden Trousers. This is about a good-natured boy who finds a pair of magical trousers that produces a bottomless supply of cash. He soon finds himself being pursued by nefarious types who want to get into his pants. The poster has a typo on it, and the reviews of this Swedish film are not really all that great. I'd probably avoid this. 1 season of The Bridge has been put on Netflix. I'm pretty sure there was 2 before. However, I can't remember very well. This is a highly rated TV series about a body that is found on a bridge between Denmark and Sweden. The Danish investigator and the Swedish detective have to work together to find the killer. Reputedly very good. Raman Raghav 2.0 is set in present-day Mumbai and tells a story of a serial killer, Ramana, who is inspired by an infamous serial killer from the 1960s, Raman Raghav. A young cop closely follows the serial killer and often creates situations where both of them come face to face. The Prince and Me is a romantic comedy starring James Fox and Miranda Richardson with Ben Miller and Julia Stiles about a college freshman and one of her classmates who is clueless that he's actually a Danish prince spending a year in America. MARON is a sitcom in the style of Louis. Many people recommended this to me as I liked Louis. However, I could never quite get into it. There are 3 seasons which Mark Maron interviews fellow comedians for his popular podcast, only to reveal more about his own neuroses and relationships. Banished is a BBC TV show set in 1788 about the first British penal colony, Botany Bay, featuring convicts living alongside naval guards and where women are in short supply, featuring Ewan Bremner. And finally, A Family Affair, and oddly enough, my pick of the week. This documentary relates to Tom Fassert, who receives a mysterious invitation from his 95-year-old grandmother to come and visit him in South Africa on his 30th birthday. The only thing he knows about her are myths and predominantly negative stories from his father. She was a famous model in the 1950s and put both of her kids in children's homes. As he arrives in South Africa, it becomes clear that his grandmother wishes to confess, and the venture becomes much more complicated. Well, that's it for this week on Netflix. Hopefully next week has a great deal more exciting stuff. Thanks for tuning in and take care now.